Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Model and a Movie, The Pale Blue Eye. You know what? I was thinking we should get rid of the episode numbers and just go on by title. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because that way people don't feel like they have to watch them in a certain order. This is just, I don't know. That works.
There's not really continuity in this.
No, there isn't. There's nothing going on. Unlike our other mess. You've had a couple weeks. Let's give a quick health update.
Yeah. It's been, last time we did this was like the last week in July, right?
Right before you were going to go into your surgery. I think.
Right. And it was August.
It was August. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, we had first we had, you and Jamie stopping by, and we didn't talk about it, did we? I don't think we talked.
No,
did
we
talk
didn't.
about that. No.
No, I think we skipped it.
Yeah, you and Jamie stopped by.
We stopped by on our way back from Buffalo,
and I got to meet Jamie, and she was
the voice on our
enamored with the manliness that is me. And,
I know. I was immediately, dwarfed,
tossed aside. No, honestly, dude, like Missy was like that. Like she loved you guys, and
yeah, Missy's great.
And you got to meet my parents. I was like, it was a weird first date. My parents were happy.
I have saved you the trouble of meeting my parents. Although Scott has evidently met my mom multiple times. So
apparently, yeah. So, but yeah, that was cool. And
it was very cool.
Yeah, and you got to see the madness that is my area.
The illusion is destroyed because I know what's going on back there.
Yeah, there's a lot more room than people would think, isn't there?
Yes.
But at the same time, it's filled with a bunch of crap. So, so yeah. Then I did have my surgery. I will strongly suggest that if people have surgeries, don't be awake for them. There's no fun involved. It was miserable.
No.
Well, they numbed it up, but you could still feel like when the blood was dripping down a little and whatever. And it felt.
Wait a minute, you were awake for this whole thing?
Yeah, it was only 15 minutes, but
okay.
It felt like someone was like inside my body on my arm, just pushing out, like just pressure, like massive pressure, and it sucked. So
wait, let's see. Do you have a cool scar or anything? Or is it like a needle hole?
I don't even know if you can.
Yeah, it doesn't really show up.
That's it right there.
There it is. Oh, I see it. Okay.
It's real small, but the good news is, it seemed to take.
Okay.
They do a strength test before, and so they did a test in my right hand, and it was 98 out of 100, which is, no one's perfect, but I was close. But then we did it in my left hand, and it was 40, and they're like, it should not be that much of a difference. I was like, listen, it sucks, it hurts. I haven't been able to workout things that I normally do. When I went back for physical therapy 2 weeks ago, it was 99 in the left hand.
Oh, good.
So the strength is coming back and everything. So it's going to be okay. However, then I went back to school for one day, as you know, we were talking. And the first day I'm sitting there and I'm teaching and I'm sweating like a freaking fat man at a barbecue. It was, I come home and I told my, I'm like, oh God, honey, I don't know what's COVID. Yeah. Got COVID for the third. So
good times.
But I didn't lose my taste this time. I didn't lose, it was just like a really, really bad cold, and it just bad for 3 days. So the first week of school, I was there one day. So.
Perfect. And for people wondering why my eyes are baggier than normal and Brian's this is a Friday. We were recording like a couple hours after we got home from work. So, and mine is clay week. We've been doing clay for 2 years, and I'm like exhausted. My hands are.
Yeah.
I went to physical therapy this week, first time ever, for my knee, and then I'm going to woman on Tuesday. So I'll have an update there. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
This is gonna turn into.
Is it turning into old man?
You're an old man. Let's talk about what's wrong with you.
What's wrong with us? Episode. We should do that.
You should 3D print some legs and knees.
So anyway, we are here to talk about The Pale Blue Eye, which was your pick, and we'll get to that a little bit later. We have our models that we're currently working on and bought. I have some tools I want to talk about. And so let's start there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened since that we need to cover. I don't think so.
No, it's been, with school starting, there's
yeah. For people, if this is your first time watching, we're both teachers. We're hating life right now. We went back to, fun.
Yeah, in the summertime we should really do more. What we should do is just bank a bunch of movies,
Bank and just pump them out.
do one a week, and then we could put
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man, we'd have to do wardrobe changes so it looks different. So what you working on? What you got? What do you got going on?
Well, not too much. I still didn't finish that Tinkerbell. I couldn't manipulate it, and I'm still limited with 5 pounds, even though the strength is coming. But I started a little Boba Fett from Bandai for a buddy of mine. He teaches with me, and we're Star Wars fans together, and he's been bugging me about that. And I was like, you know what? It was on sale for like $15 or something, so I grabbed one and I'll do that. So
did it go together? Like I know those go together really well, but does it look like are there action figure joints in it, or does it look like an actual model, like a figure?
No, it's action figure-y. It is.
Okay.
But I usually glue them. Like we've talked about this before. Like if I have something that's movable, I just glue it shut in a pose I want. You said you actually let them go so you can move them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Sometimes
it
depends on what it.
And then
I do with it.
I zap it, lock it in, and so that's probably what I'll do with him. But I got that, and then if you remember when the hobby shop was closing, which by the way,
did it actually close or was it a scam?
Yeah, he was retiring. I mean, he was in 75 or something.
Okay.
He loved doing it, and great guy. But I was going in, and this is I feel bad even saying this, but I was going in like once a week for a month and a half and just buying stuff off the just okay, I want to help you. You've been a great dude, blah blah blah. And then I noticed like about the third trip that he's writing down the things I'm buying. I'm thinking, oh, you got to keep. I go, hey man, you got to keep good records, huh? And he goes, oh no, still ordering stuff because I said. So here I am thinking I'm buying stuff to help him clear out,
yeah,
buying more. So I was like, yeah, I didn't go back. So that was the end. But if you remember, I talked about the German half track, and
that you're going to make it look like army guys, right?
And yeah, just gloss gray. I've gotten a little bit on it, so
yeah.
And the little guys, they're fun, little fun guys. I would not want to paint. I would not want to. This is up your alley right here. This miniature stuff.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to paint this. This is just gray. Thank God.
Do gray. You know what might actually? No, I know it. I know what you're going for. But if you just took a wash and threw a wash on there, like get a contrast, get the contrast paint. Not the black one, but there's like a kind of like a dark gray or a brown, and just throw it on there. Bring out, have some of the details pop. Boom, done. Just let it sit there.
It's gonna look like a plastic toy and put it up there.
No, I get what you're going for, so that's right.
Yeah, that's all that I've built. I've got kits though, but
what'd you get?
Well, actually, I had some that I wanted to talk about last time, and we just got.
Yeah, we had a lot. We forgot our giveaway. We got to talk about that real quick from last time. Brian the shipper.
Right. Okay. Legitimately, I have excuses. Now they're coming. They're boxed. They're ready to go. They're just not in the mail. So the week that I had the surgery, I was planning on going, and then I was waiting for you. Sent me, it's not Gary. It's
Barry.
Barry.
Yep.
Here you go.
So Barry Gordon one. Barry, they're coming.
Barry, it's coming. I promise you, buddy. It's on me. It's not on Jay. So you sent me his email or his address, and I'm waiting for Sluka Bill, who's always on Saturday nights. And then he stops coming on Saturday night.
He's been coming on after you leave. Maybe there's something going on. He hates you now or something.
So finally he was on one day. I get his address. Well, I say, hey man, you got to send me your address. Okay. He texts me the next day and goes, hey, do you really need I'm like, dude, yes. So he sends me his address, and then I can't find Barry. So it was and then I got COVID, and so it's coming.
And then the day you call me and you're like, hey, I need his address again. I had just deleted every email because I had I had so many Model Club emails that I'm like, I'm done. I need to start over. I went through and made sure I kind of saw everything and deleted it. And then like literally like within an hour, I think you're like, hey, you got that? I was like, shh.
Karma. That's what you get.
I know. For being,
Delete nothing.
It's usually what I do, but I was like, no, I'm trying to keep track because I know. And then this, I'm going to have to talk about in the other show. I think I missed some emails that I needed to talk on the show, and it was getting too much. So I needed to start over because I was trying to save some and trying to flag some. Anyway,
when you're as popular as you and Playface are, it's and you know what? I'm 2 episodes behind. I just started.
You might as well just skip them at this point. It's, you know.
Well, I'm just saying. I just started I watch them when I'm on the can, so I can look at Scott and think about Scott at the same time.
It helps you go.
Yeah, that's right. He's like a laxative. So I'm getting messages from people that are basically like telling me he's making comments about me and these like the surgery was not for my elbow but something else and all that. So I just, it's okay, Scott, don't worry. All right, buddy.
He's sick now or just got better because he went on a trip and got sick from the airport, I think. So he was sick this whole week. It's going around.
All right, so
we all make out over here. I think that's what we're saying. What'd you pick up?
I got one that you did a thing on. I got the kangaroo guy.
Excellent. What do you think?
Number 3 out of it's beautiful. It really is. It's fantastic. I told Dave that. In fact, a little bit of a bone to pick with Dave because whenever he told us about it on Discord, I was like, man, I'm in. Put me on the list. I want in. He goes, you're number 1. And now I'm number 3, Dave. Number 1 is the bald guy somehow. I'm just saying. Maybe it's. I get it. I'm the third wheel. Yeah, I'm the third wheel. Maybe Scott got number 2. I don't know.
Scott didn't get it. So someone else got 2.
But I'm glad I watched your video on it because I didn't know that about the artwork.
Yeah.
Because mine was the box, was brown inside and it was like stuck on the side and I didn't even see it.
Oh, thank God you didn't chuck that. Okay. Oh man.
Well, I usually
it's really cool. The artwork I really like too. Well done. That really cool piece.
And I got this little woofy guy from
the Jaeger Army.
Yeah, he's got his YA. I love these guys.
Yeah, those are nice.
I've got them all.
What's the name of that one? I forgot. It's I can look.
It's from because he's got like a subgroup of the wolves. I can't remember the Howling something. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what they called it. It's yeah.
Yeah, but it's
the Curse of the Werewolf, but we don't know what they called it on that thing.
I mean, look at the hair and everything on that dude. That's really
well done, Jeff Yeager.
It's awesome. I just love that line. I hope they keep going. Another thing I meant to mention last time, and it just with the boxes. I got this clown here. This guy, he might look a little familiar to some people.
Yes, it is a clown.
And it's from Mr.
A very artistic clown.
And our boy, he's artistic. He does some work,
which I still haven't seen. And people are, you know what's crazy? I had a student. I don't know, telling me they saw that movie.
Dude, it's on Freevee now.
Yeah, but they're not old.
It doesn't matter. It's Freevee. Download the app and watch whatever you want. But look,
yeah, but they're old. They're little kids. They shouldn't be watching that movie.
How old are they?
They were probably 11.
8th graders or 6th graders?
This was either, I think, a 6th or a 7th grader that told me they watched it.
Parents aren't doing anyhow. We shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah,
but got another arm, so he does that kind of look all the time in the movies and all.
Yeah. Yep.
This is awesome, and it comes with a little artwork there too.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah. I remember. Yep, very beautiful.
Really cool.
So, we'll put a link up for this over to Paul Gill, so anyone who wants to pick one of those up,
Paul,
we'll give them the opportunity.
I do. Paul's stuff is awesome, and I haven't opened this yet. It just came.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
From where?
I pre-ordered it directly from them. So And
I
'cause
was like, I'm not even kidding. While I was waiting for you to come on, I saw someone else post their box, and I'm like, wait, I didn't get an email from Cult TV Man that my pre-order was ready. So
this was straight from them. I got
Okay.
an email, and it's the special edition, which I think I got to stop buying special editions. I mean, really,
I think
it's
it
got
just
an extra head, I think, and it's
really.
like an extra $15, and it's I haven't opened it. I've been talking to you about I want to get a camera so I can do like what's in the box type
Yeah.
stuff because a lot of crap that people like because I got a lot of plastic and people might want to see that, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I haven't opened it yet, and well, shit, I don't have a camera yet. Let's do it, buddy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nice. I'll probably do one when I get it, but yes. So that's probably what happened with the camera. I wonder if that was one you had to order specifically from them to get that extra part with the cut off arm. But
well, didn't you have a Jurassic Park? You have the Jurassic Park.
I do.
And you wanted one that had a Jeep in it or something, right?
Well, no, there's one. I think this special edition for the, and we're probably talking crazy and everyone's going to be mad because we're wrong about something. But I think the Jurassic Park special edition T-Rex came with the guy on the toilet. And I think the special edition Gamera had the arm that was cut off, like severed arm part. And this one you're saying might have an extra head, but could you just hold up the instructions? I just kind of want to see that real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
it's two heads.
Is it two heads? Okay. What's the difference? One's the original or one's?
I don't know.
Huh.
Dude, there's a lot of crap in here. The directions come. Did your directions for yours come in a bag too? The other ones?
Yeah.
It didn't. You accidentally got two or something.
Yeah, because someone told me that they think there was some of them were missing in the boxes or something. I can't remember.
Let me get these open here, and I'll tell you what, the plastic is really cool. It's like a metallic green, dude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we have? Yep, there you go. Revenge of the Creature plastic model kit. There we go.
Very cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then so, I like the classic.
Does it say anywhere on there about that extra head? Like what it is? On the back either? I think there's sometimes on the back there's like a little.
It's just a painting.
Okay.
But they got to say, keep your eye out for the Rhedosaurus.
Yeah.
Rhedosaurus, whatever that.
Shut up, whatever. Scott
and Dracula. Those are the two that are coming. So.
Yeah, I think I have 3. So I have that on pre-order. I have Dracula and the Shin Ultraman on pre-order.
Oh wait, here we go. Exclusive edition part. Oh, I spoke
There.
too soon. An additional thing. It's just an extra head. One has gills and the other doesn't. That's it. These extras.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's worth $15.
I'll trade you. I'll pay you the $15.
But yeah, there's the plastic. It's kind of a metallic-y.
I like those fish too. Like those are nice, just fish for diorama stuff.
Legs and seaweed.
This is really cool. So you're just fresh out the box. Nice.
Right. I mean, yeah. No, here's the special head that I paid way too much for. It's weird because the body, well, so that's it. That's the main, but it's the back.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you got the front here. It's not very big.
I think they're like one. Yeah, I think they're probably like 1/8, maybe.
Yeah, they're not big. But it's got that cool little backdrop that I won't use because it takes up space and I'm running out of it. And
yeah,
definitely worth my time invest. Oh, the base. There, you get better idea what how it looks. The plastic, okay. It's got sheen.
Nice. No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
very awesome. Awesome. Thanks for opening that.
Hey, no problem, man. That's what we do here, right?
Well, Scott wouldn't have opened it, so thank you.
But I build and paint, and Scott collects. So
yeah, that's true.
Two
different things, and both are okay.
I'm staying on Scott's good side because of the King Kong plaque that you guys talked about
Yeah.
And 'cause I love Kong too, and that's my, as much as I despise Scott, he and I have the same taste in monsters, Frankenstein and Kong. All right, let's see what else do I have. I've got, and this is from our buddy Jamie. Um, and again, I bought it because it was funny and it made me laugh. The Deboner.
Deboner.
Boner. And I still even haven't opened that up. And then, dude, I
Got a
don't
lot of
know
stuff, man.
well, this is here's the thing. I'm not going to have much coming in over the near whatever. I know you said you were gonna. What you were doing something for me.
Uh, the Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
And I have that
Scott's,
Superman ready to go.
That's right. I forgot about that.
was starting to do that
way
too.
back in May or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's doing his Namor, and he did the model club for me.
Okay.
We're meeting up next weekend.
Oh, that's right, the pinball thing. Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, dude.
You excited?
Yeah, I really am. I'm more excited to see our boy, man, because I haven't seen him since June. We talk a lot, but it's he's an honest to God, just good person.
He's a good guy. Yes, one of the best.
Yeah, he really is.
I am behind on printing because resin has been out of stock, the color I use. So I have like 4 people that I'm kind of waiting to get stuff done for. So it's coming. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Cool. So I'm like itching to get things done.
And with me, you can.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
gotcha.
It's frustrating that I haven't been able to get it.
Well, here's something I don't think you've seen yet, but I mean, you know of it. I don't think you've seen one. And originally, I said I wasn't going to get it, and you know how that goes.
Yeah,
I got it, and it is massive, and it is beautiful. But the minute I got this thing, I opened it up right away, and I sent an email to one Troy over at Shadow. Dude, I got the Boris Karloff.
With the painting?
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
It is massive.
I'm not even, what? That's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Yeah.
It is huge. And then it's got, you got the, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but they're looking at each other. And I've got a cool idea for this dude. I really can't wait. I've got it. But you've got the monster's head, but he's in a smaller, and you got the 2 hands that connect. Yeah. It's
show the back
there.
Cool.
Really cool.
That is a lot bigger than I thought it was. And I don't even remember if I got to see it at Wonderfest. Like, did he have it at Wonderfest?
I don't think
because I didn't even get to like walk around, so I don't even remember.
Did because there were people who bought it there.
Yes,
he would have a few there, but it was only like the top like 4 or 5 people who would have ordered.
Okay.
But dude, this thing is phenomenal. It's like,
yeah,
it is really, really well done, and it's just massive. And I'm sure my wife is going to be happy once. I mean, dude, look at this. The base, everything's as big as my head. The base, him.
Yeah.
This is going to be massive. It's going to be huge. So when I got it, I opened it. I'm super excited, and I have been sitting on that since late June, early July. So,
awesome. Awesome.
How about you, my man?
Me, so I filmed some videos with some hobby tools that I picked up, and I just got swamped with a ton of things, so I was going to put those out, but I'm just going to do them here instead. A couple of tools that I got from Green Stuff World. I'm going to start with this one, and it is, I think it's kind of hard to see. This is a hobby saw, and it comes with 3 attachments, 3 different blades, and let me see if I can show. This will show right. It comes with 3 blades like this. Where's the best? Right on my bald head, so you can see over the black. Yep. So they swap in and out. There's like a little. Can you see that there's a hole in there?
Yeah.
So it like locks in place. You put them in, and then there's this part kind of goes over it, locks in place, and you can saw back and forth. I just put it upside down. I am not too thrilled with this tool.
No.
And And not because it doesn't work, it doesn't release well. Like I was hoping it was like just like it feels
More-
cheap. It
So
feels cheap.
I was gonna say you kind of wanted it more like the weight of the Monument Hobbies knife type
Yeah,
thing.
a
Is
little
that
bit
what-
like that. And then it just like right now I'm trying to like, so you're supposed to push down on this that releases the blade, like pulls it up so that you can pull the blade out. And I can't get it. Like as hard
Yeah.
as I'm pushing, I'm trying. I had to go and take another thing and like push this down. So it's not as quick release as I had hoped. I think as a tool, like saw wise, I'm sure it would work great. But it's just this release mechanism I'm not too happy with. So I'll be using it, but I just don't know how much because it's kind of a pain.
Now,
I
what did
was
you buy
able
it-
to get it like to work right away before, but there. So I had to take this and push this down. And I'm wondering if it's like after a bunch of times of doing it, it might like wear itself in or like break itself in, but it does not. I don't know. It feels
Now,
I
what
don't
did you
know.
buy that? Did you buy that for your miniatures or for
Yeah,
cutting-
for anything. Like if I had to saw off something like some resin printing, like if there's something like I had to get in somewhere and don't want to clip it off, because sometimes when you clip something off, it might chip, and depending on how brittle the resin is. So like this is a really kind of nice blade that I'll put this like that's pretty pointy. So you could get in a nice little spot with this if you had to. I'm not happy with the handle, the mechanism itself. Otherwise, I think the blades will be great. The other problem is it says it has 3 blades for different materials, but nowhere on the package does it tell you what each blade is for. So I have to go back and look at their website and see if there's like a, hey, this blade's for this is for this and this. But that one I'm like,
have you tried the blades in like some other?
That's why like there might be a tool or something that holds them easier. You could probably, even if you had to, hold it and just do this, which kind of defeats the purpose of the of the
Well,
other thing. I mean, this blade I think is even smaller than the other one. Like this one, like they're nice. It comes with 3, so I'm gonna give it a try. I just don't like that part about it. This, however, from Green Stuff World, seems really cool, and I have a feeling someone told me, and I don't think Green Stuff World will ever be a sponsor of the show. But someone told me they're buying stuff like other products out of China and then just they basically pay to stick their name on it, which could be totally true. I think a lot of companies do that. But this is a swivel cutter. And so there's a tiny, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny little blade on there. And it rotates 360 degrees. So like if you're cutting lettering or cutting, like the blade will turn instead of you having to go like that.
Gotcha.
So I'm really looking forward to like giving this a try. This feels nice. Like this has some weight to it. The end has a nice little like ball end to it. And I'm not like, I think it's the kind of weight, like a counterweight almost. So it feels balanced in your hand. I really like this.
When you did that, you looked very comfortable with some balls.
I love it. Love that in my hand. Never mind. So that feels pretty good. Another thing that I picked up, where did it go? I think I moved it because I know I'm not going to use it, which was the Army Painter can of wash. So I decided to try this from Vallejo. I found a big giant bottle of Game Wash. This color is black. So it's just black. And it's good, but it's not it's not going to be what I need it for, which is my Godzilla. Because this is a straight black and it's not going to work like an oil wash does. But it's still, I think, like if you're doing dioramas, if you can find, and you need like a ton of wash, instead of buying 100 little bottles of wash, look for these big bottles of Vallejo. I haven't gone back to see what other colors they have, but if you're doing like a wall and you need a bunch of wash real quick, these cans, I think it was only like, it wasn't that expensive either. But it's made for, I think, dipping as well, where guys dip it in. But this is, I think, let me see if I can just pull.
Did you try
it's that kind of color? Like it's straight, almost black, and it dries flat. Does not dry glossy.
Then why is it not what you wanted? Because
it's more like that Godzilla wash that I'm looking for is like a black brown. That kind of like, it's kind of hard to explain. You have like, it's not the right color. and I don't think it's gonna work for what I need it for. I'm gonna try it. We'll see.
Now the last time we talked, it was the you said it was the other stuff was too shiny,
dried
right?
glossy is the glossiest thing I've ever seen.
Did you try the Lamian?
I tried that, didn't cut it down at all. I had to spray it with
Really?
like the Bear
Crazy.
spray stuff. Yeah.
This makes everything, because you got me hip to this.
Yeah.
This makes everything.
It does. That was having a really hard time. I even actually had a really hard time with the Lamia Medium over the new formula of Agrax Earthshade. I've noticed has the new formula of Reichland Flesh seems to dry a bit glossy, and so does the Agrax. And I think I found the Monument Hobbies Flesh Wash. I think that, yeah, is almost the same as that Citadel Flesh color, and it dries flat.
Huh.
And I think I'm gonna end up probably switching over to that for something. So, the other thing, I showed this on the show before, and this was that case that I at Adepticon that a guy had for all his painting tools, and I'm gonna put a link to this, the Amazon link for this for people. But the other thing that I got the right zipper. My mind. One of the things I got, and I showed this on the other show, was this travel. Let's see if you can see this. So in here, when you open it up, this Gambody, not Gambody, Game Envy. Sorry, Game Envy travel paint cup can fit right in there like that. And then the other thing I bought this month was this that I did a review for, and it's from Monument Hobbies, and it is, you can see that the M just gets washed out. It's a paintbrush holder. And it works really well, other than the ones I tried to 3D print. So you have enough room to fit, I think it's 1, 2, 3,
like
4,
8?
5. Like 12 brushes. 10 brushes. And you could have room for other things in there too to kind of sit. But works perfect. It fits in this case perfect. So I'll get links to all this stuff up there. This painting case I still love. And since you didn't watch, I want to get these guys on the show, but I was waiting to get the Kickstarter stuff in the mail. It's these, and for anyone that didn't watch the last episode, these are travel water cups, and they pop out like this.
Oh, dude.
And then your brush can even, I can use this. Brushes can sit, no, it doesn't work, because that's this. You can sit across, like a brush will sit across like that, because the way they have it. And then in the bottom are these like silicone brush cleaners too. So that fits right in there, and then it pops right down. Bam.
Dude,
okay,
that is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it came with also a brush holder for your desk, so they don't roll away. So Game Envy's great. They got some great tools. That's what their wet palette. This one, still best wet palette so far. I'll put links to all this stuff so people are, if you're looking for stuff, that's where you can get it. That's my tool roundup. So what I've been working on paint-wise is, of course, Snake Eyes still. But I think I'm finished with Snake Eyes, which I have a couple little details left to do on it. I was having a really hard time, and again, it's going to look like terrible on here because it's black. And I was getting really frustrated trying to do this to try and differentiate the different kinds of blacks. But when Jeff Camp was on, he recommended the gouache from Liquitex. This stuff, if you are looking for a flat black, this is like the flattest black I have ever found. And you get a ton of paint in there. It's beautiful. It goes on really good. It's really creamy, thins out really well. So the Liquitex gouache colors are, like, so far my use, awesome. Really, really good.
Is it acrylic, water-based?
Yeah, water-based, cleans up really easy, perfect. I used it to do the pouches on his belt, and they look beautiful.
Awesome.
My other problem, so it's the opposite. He's all black, and his wolf is going to be all white. So I've been trying to figure out a way, and this is where I want the audience's help. I'm not entirely happy so far with my base coat, which is a base coat and then a couple washes on there. If anyone has ideas how they would paint a white wolf, what colors they would use, I would love to hear, because I'd love to give some of them a try. Because when I start dry brushing this, I have a feeling or airbrushing and dry brushing, I have a feeling I'm not going to like it. I think I'm trying to do it more like the original action figure, where the wolf was more white than like the gray wolf, you know? And so when I look at a wolf, their noses are black, their claws are black, their paws are kind of black, like the underneath of them. But everything else is kind of white with some gray in there and some brown. So it's a weird color to try and match. So if anyone has an idea of how they would paint a white wolf instead of some smartass just saying a rattle can of white, I would I would love to hear your suggestions. So
I mean, I have the Mobius Crypto dog.
okay.
It was vinyl. Same thing. I haven't touched it because he's just all white.
So is there a lot of fur texture in that, or is it just?
I'm pretty sure. I
Okay.
opened it. I haven't looked at it in years, so I'll have to find it.
Because that's like if it was a cartoon wolf, I'd be fine. White, airbrush a little shading, done. This is I'm trying to make it look like a real wolf, which is like when you look at pictures, I like reference, they all look different. So it's like trying to make
they are. I mean, it's like looking at pictures of you and me. One looks good, and there's you.
Sure. This was the other thing from Game Envy. It's a silicone brush holder for your desk so that they don't roll away. That came with part of that. So, all right.
Cool.
My last thing, I printed this. This was from Clay Beast Studios, and it is a giant Beastman that I love. I think I'm gonna try and print this. This is the size it comes, but I really want to do this thing like, stupid big because it's so oafy looking and awesome. Like I just love it. So that's where we are in things.
Well,
I think.
Talking about big, Jamie Sai did he send you the pictures of the big green monster from a certain movie franchise?
Yes, I have that too, and I couldn't fit it. So he has a giant FDM printer that he could do the base.
Did he? Well, did he show you the foot?
Yeah. I'll say it's a Hulk. It's huge. It's 1/6 scale Hulk.
Big as his hand.
Yeah,
and I was like,
awesome.
Oh my, beautiful. And I was like, I need a Superman that big. I do. I need to find a Superman that big.
You'll have one.
Yeah.
That one, I'm printing the one in the suit. So someone contacted me trying to get me to print it in quarter scale. The pants. Want to pause for a second? I'll grab the pants.
All right. Yeah. Grab your pants. About time you put some on. This is exciting. Imagine this. This would probably bore the hell out of anybody, even Scott. I wouldn't blame Scott for turning it off at this point. Dear God. Why did he think I could do this? What a joke I am. Anyhow.
All right, back. So the pants don't fit on the Jupiter straight up like the way I would normally print them. So there's the pants. And I had to print it like this, which is not ideal. So it's got some stuff you'll have to clean up. They barely fit on there. So there's Superman's pants. Here's his, until I ran out of resin. There's his torso.
Dude.
There's the pants. Here's his shoes. And this is from CA3D Studios. So if anyone wants one of these, about $200 when I'm all said and done. There's the shoes. He's still got a head. He's still got his big sport coat that he's peeling off to.
Yeah.
A lot more to go.
That is beautiful, dude.
And a pretty simple base, like with a manhole on it, which is pretty nice. So
and we could throw some Dirty Down yellow on it.
Yes, you could. The Yellow Rust, baby. Yellow Rust from Dirty Down. Go check that video. I'll put a link. Great stuff. So this is you could kill someone with this thing.
Well, he's a man of steel.
That's true.
He can. Yeah.
That's true.
Not the man of hard resin plastic.
All right. Movie talk. Why we're here? Why? That's the reason we're here. So before we get into A Pale Blue Eye, I think we both watched some other movies we want to just touch on. What'd you watch? Like, what else did you want to talk? Because I got two and a so go right ahead, man. What do you want to talk about?
First, I was able to pick up a Blu-ray copy of Pooh, Blood and Honey. I haven't watched it yet. My wife won't watch. She loves Winnie the Pooh. She's like, I'm not watching that. But anyhow, so yeah, that. But that's coming. But I watched when I was recuperating. It was on Showtime, and the name intrigued me, so I watched it. Pray for the Devil. Prey though. Pray for the Devil.
Okay.
It is about a nun basically who wants to be an exorcist. And nuns can't be exorcists. It's got to be a priest and all that. And it turns out that she's like just a natural and she's really good at it. And there's some really cool effects in there, man. It is
Pray for the Devil. Okay.
The reviews online were bad because I was watching. My daughter came in. She's like, "What's this?" And I told her, and she looked it up right away. She's like, people are saying it's bad. I was like, well, I'm watching it and it's good. At least I thought it was good. I like a good demon exorcist type movie, you know. So
There's one I want to watch too. I forget the name right now. I gotta go back and look it up. But Pray for the Devil. All right.
great for the good.
So it's good. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what Blood and Honey is, you want to give a brief.
Oh,
I think someone just bought The Mask and decided to buy because that's from Immortal Masks and it had been out for a while. And I think someone just bought The Mask and was like, let's make a movie with this. That's why.
if they're gonna keep making movies like this, and from what I've seen, they are.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch them all because uh, it's basically I don't even know the kid. Is it Ricky, Richard, whatever, whoever it is that takes care of Winnie the Pooh, his little boyfriend.
Yeah.
He like goes off to school or college or whatever, and Winnie the Pooh is mad. He's upset, and so he goes on a killing spree.
Christopher. It's Christopher. Yeah.
Christopher Robin. There you go, Christopher
Yeah.
Robin. So yeah, Christopher has to pay a price for leaving Winnie.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude.
All right. What if
yeah,
it's terrible?
Look, there's something good in every movie. In the previews I saw of it, I bought
Really?
it.
Okay, so let's go back to one of our first movies we watched.
You know what? Speaking of, so I still get Fangoria, okay?
Yeah.
Because it came back out again a couple years ago.
They were over at Horror Hound. They were there. Yeah.
So I don't read magazines in order. As we've talked about, I've got hundreds of comic books that I get. And I just went for, I don't even want to say how much I spent today. I haven't been to the comic shop in a month and a half. I walked in and the dude was like, "Oh, wait till you see." I was like, anyhow, I could have paid for a car. So I tend to read comic books in like chunks. I put them in order. Like I'll have all the Batmans and I go through and then I'll take a break and I'll grab a magazine. So I grabbed a Fangoria that was a couple years old, and right at the top, I almost didn't read it just because of this. It says Cronenberger's back. Crimes of the Future. It almost made me cancel my subscription.
Man, yeah.
Like, I'll have to read the article and maybe bring it.
We can read it as a joke. We can talk about.
If it's on there though,
it's probably a preview. They probably haven't seen the movie. They were watching it, basing it off the trailer. Speaking of which, did you see that Rotten Tomatoes just got busted for paying for reviews? Like people production. They were using reviews that people had been paid to write to post on there. I don't want to speak to what exactly don't sue me, Rotten Tomatoes. I just caught it in fleeting today. Like I saw a headline and I didn't get a chance to go back to it, but
it's like the old record company payola stuff, right?
Yep. I think there's a lot of that going on.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you watch anything else?
I did, but I can't remember the name right now. What did you watch?
Well, first today, September 8th, 2023, on Netflix, the new Gamera series comes out. The new Gamera anime series. It's 6 episodes. It came out today, so I think I'm going to watch some of that tonight when we're done. I'm really excited. If we want to all kind of watch that as a community, not make it a official model in a movie, because it's not technically a movie, it's a series. So if anyone we want to talk Gamera, everybody go watch Gamera by then. The next episode, we can all kind of give a little chat about that for the next episode. That'd be awesome. I'm excited for that. But speaking of kaiju, did you see the Godzilla trailer that just came out? The new one? Dude. It's got over, I don't know how many million views. Looks brutally it
looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks so good.
This might actually be, and again, I'm a purist. I like the original versions. This might be the best one since the first one.
I hope so. Shin Godzilla. Did you end up seeing Shin Godzilla yet? You should watch that, because I don't even know that one. It was the last one that just came out from Japan, and it was just a rebuke of the Japanese political system, the bureaucracy of Japan, and basically took what the atomic bomb was and basically turned it from the Fukushima in the tidal wave issue and why like stuff went sideways with that and kind of turned that into a, like almost like a Godzilla movie.
Cool.
So it kind of fit with the first one, and I really wish there was a sequel to Shin because it was so good. But this, if they're going back to this and they do a period piece like this, dude, this could be the best one in a very, very, very long time.
Might even be better than the original.
And if it comes and it's terrible, it's going to be the biggest letdown because my hopes are so high after watching that trailer. Like you get goosebumps watching it. It's like,
it's good.
Yeah. So if
Really
anyone
good.
hasn't watched the new Godzilla trailer, I'll put a link. We'll find it. So I did watch 2 other movies, which is strange for me. The first one is by the same director, Shin Kamen Rider, which is Shin Dark Rider, which is a remake of the old Shin Kamen Rider that came out. It's on Amazon streaming, and it was great. It had a very like 60s, 70s vibe to it, to the old, like, you know, like that kind of Japanese TV show, and just
Ultraman,
like, yeah, Ultraman, Power Rangers, but not big monsters. Everyone just kind of doing karate and doing their motorcycle riding, and it's super hella violent. Like he punches someone, their head explodes. It was so good. It was so good. If you're not into it, you probably won't like it, but if you like that kind of Japanese thing, it's really well worth the watch. So Shin Kamen Rider, please go watch that. I saved us one. I saved us some heartache, man. I went and watched Renfield.
Where did you pay for it? Or
It's on Peacock for free. Dude?
No. I've heard it's good. People say it's good.
I did know. Well, I can see where it's like there's I think I chuckled. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just
Wow.
Like it's violent, it's hyper violent, hyper crazy, but it was just not like I didn't like it. And I was wanting to really like it when I heard everyone, like, when it flopped. I'm like, oh, it's got to be great. It's got Nick Cage. How could you go wrong?
Yeah.
I didn't like the way his teeth looked from the going on there, because he's got like the whole mouthful of fangs. The best part of it is the first 5 minutes where it's basically they refilmed Dracula with Nick Cage. Yeah. Like, that looks really cool. If they would have kind of done something like that, this just kind of felt
so,
you know, like the Kingsman, you know, the King, like where it's all,
those are good movies.
So it's kind of like that, where it's like hyper motion. Renfield's like a superhero from eating bugs. He gets superpowers from eating bugs, and he can go do superhero stuff.
Let me tell you, if I come across someone who's eating bugs, I'm not getting in his way.
Well, he can punch your head off, literally.
Yeah.
Like that happens. And I want my Renfield to be more, I'm your mist. Like, you know, like, I don't know. It wasn't, I just didn't like it. I'm sure some people would find, like, I think if we put it on here, it would have been another, like,
C.
Yeah.
C. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do get Fangoria. They did a big thing on that. And I don't think they reshot it. What they did was they superimposed him into the original films.
Is that what they did? Okay. Yeah, you know what? It kind of did look like that.
Dracula, he's in different Dracula movies. It's not just the original either. There's a bunch, I think. So if I remember correctly, because that was what, a year ago?
He kind of even looked like Bela Lugosi. Like you could see how he could fit. Like, it worked. But there was parts, like there was some set design on it that I really liked. Like, they had Nick Cage when he was coming back, because he, like, if you do watch it, I'll leave it kind of spoiler free. There's a part where he's coming back and healing, and there's like hundreds of blood bags, like transfusion bags, like behind him, like into a chair. Like, it looked awesome. It was really like set design, but then like the makeup on that part was kind of like goof, like, and it was supposed to be. It just didn't work for me. It was one of those. I don't know. Like,
eventually, I mean,
see it eventually. Yeah. I'd like to hear your opinion, but we would have done another Nick Cage and then be like, what are you doing? All right.
The first one.
Yeah. The
pale blue eye, my friend.
The pale blue eye. All right. This was your pick. Tell everybody the general premise, and then we'll get into full spoilers.
Well, I don't, this is a hard one to spoil. Well, that's not true. It's very easy to spoil because there's a lot of twists and turns, but this is a hard one to kind of do this is what happens because it is a detective story and there's a lot of,
yeah,
stuff all over the place. But basically the idea is that there's a murder at West Point. A cadet is found
in 1830. So people know where we're at. Yes.
1830. Yep. Hung in a tree with his chest cut open and his heart gone. And they send away for an Inspector Langdon, I believe is what his name was. Landor.
I'm sorry, Augustus Landor, played by Christian Bale.
And I knew it was Landor because I kept thinking Nandor from
Oh, what? Real quick, rewind. I finished the new season. I know. I finished the new season. Everybody go finish the new season of What We Do in the Shadows. Nandor's awesome. Everybody's awesome. Show is continuing to be great. Go ahead.
It's one of the best shows on TV. Yes. So anyhow, I kept laughing every time they said Inspector Landor because I was like,
fucking guy.
Fucking guys. That's such a good show.
Such a good show.
And the original movie's good too.
Yes. But I still think this, I like the movie. This is so much better. I tell you.
Anyhow. So they call this inspector in and he's the best of the best type of deal. And he starts his deal. And right away he's like, why do you want me? It wasn't quite clear. At least I might have missed it. Did he go to West Point at one point?
I don't think so.
But he definitely didn't like West Point.
It said he was a constable from New York City.
You know what? They do clarify that's a thing for the okay. You're right. Now that all right, that makes sense now.
It's weird.
He doesn't like the West Point cadets. He doesn't like he thinks that the academy is not doing and creating the best, but it's kind of erasing the humanity from these guys.
Yeah.
And he holds them in contempt and he makes it quite clear. And so the one captain is like, listen, if you're going to do this, you're going to report to me. You're going to do that. And right away, I'm thinking this might be the bad guy. This could be the killer but it was too obvious. So he starts doing his investigation. And again, it's hard to say what happens, how it happens, because it is piecemeal. And it's a long movie. It's 2 hours.
It was 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, something like that. It's over 2 hours. Yeah.
It's over 2 hours. Yeah. So there's a lot, but it's,
I'll be fact checking us while we're going.
There you go. That's fine. So he basically runs into a cadet by the name of E.A. Poe, the one and only Edgar Allan Poe, and kind of takes Poe under his wing, so to speak. Poe becomes his eyes and ears inside of the academy, and kind of helps investigate on the side, which, being an English teacher, that's why I picked this, by the way. The pale, that's there's a reference.
That is all I knew about it. I heard it had something to do with Edgar Allan Poe. That is all I knew going in.
Me too. That's all I knew. And actually, I thought Poe was the investigator. I didn't know that I thought Bale was playing Poe, which I thought was weird. So I was even, I mean, could you imagine? Best looking Poe
I thought it was going to be like a retelling of one of his stories. That's what I thought it was going to be. That's not what it was at all.
But there are pieces. Yes. There's stuff in there that are Easter eggs
which I'd love for you to kind of tell us about. Because this goes right up your teacher alley. This is your wheelhouse.
It is, but it's. I have had COVID brain. I can't remember. I know. I just remember watching it.
There was a couple.
There's something. But anyhow, maybe a lot of people don't know, but Edgar Allan Poe really did attend West Point.
2 hours and 8 minutes. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we were close.
Yeah.
He really did attend West Point, and it was in an attempt to win over his stepfather, or not even his foster father, his adopted father, who his real mom was and dad were actors. Both died. I think his dad left. His mom died.
And he had gone to live with an adoptive father, right?
Right. That's so.
In Richmond, and I'm trying to because I knew just a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe history, read a lot, some,
Mhm.
and the first thing that struck me is like, why does he sound like he has a Southern accent? Like, because I was like, that was my big, and then I went, oh, he was living in Richmond, so he probably would have sounded more like that.
Yeah, 'cause he was adopted, and so the whole reason he went to Point was after his adoptive mom, who really loved him, died. He wanted to impress his adopted dad, so he was like, okay, this guy wants this. He wanted to get in on the family money. He was always poor, whatever. But then the father remarried and had another kid, and he knew he was done. So he did a lot of things to get out of West Point because he knew it just wasn't going to work. And they kind of talk about how he's an outcast at times in the movie, which is funny, because he really was. There's myth around things he did. I don't know if it's real or not. One of the stories I've read, and again, even I don't know, I wasn't alive then. It's just things that as an English teacher I came across. When he was at West Point, he would show up disheveled. He's a drunk and a gambler. He always had problems. Okay, and so he would show up disheveled and um to roll call or whatever, and the commander said, "You better never show up in your uniform looking like that again." And so the next day he shows up and he was completely nude. So I mean, he was just trying to. Now, again, is that legend? Is that real? I don't know.
He was
But
what's the
it's
guy
a
on
great
MASH that was always trying to get kicked out?
Klinger.
Klinger.
Yeah. I love MASH, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, DirecTV just got me TV. I'm in heaven. I'm
Oh,
watching.
there you go. Okay. You'll have Svengoolie on Saturdays.
Yeah, I finally got him. Yeah. Watching the past few weeks. All right, so Poe's doing his thing, and basically Poe tries to get into like a little mini secret society kind of thing that's going on, which I didn't really even quite understand why it was there. And they're thinking maybe the killer's from that, and um, he befriends the one head guy whose sister Poe falls in love with. Um, And meanwhile, the inspector is doing his thing. He's finding all sorts of clues left and right, and another body is found. And what starts happening is the bodies are mounting, and
Yeah.
almost there's like 4 or 5. I want to say they got killed, maybe, and no, the first one, second, maybe 3, and then the one guy ran
Some
away.
animals too.
Yeah, but it was he tries to, again, it's a detective show movie, and it's one of those I would have to watch probably 2 or 3 times to see all of it and for it to stick because there's so much. But basically, the one family, with the sister who Poe is in love with, it turns out that they're like a satanic cult kind of thing, and they're trying to save the sister, make her. Were they trying to save her, or were they trying to? I can't remember. Trying to save her, or trying to make her like a witch. I think she had health problems because she was always coughing. Yeah,
She had epilepsy.
Yeah. So they were trying to help her out and all that, and the way to do it was through satanic worship. And
it's always the best way to go. Like, I mean, that's the way to get healthy, is let some demons in.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with a little demon in your life. So we've all got demons.
Oh yes,
right, meat face. So so we're meanwhile, while Poe's doing that, Christian Bale's Landor is kind of piecing together some things on the other side, and finds out what's going on, and he saves Poe and them from being. They wanted to use Poe as the final.
They were going to cut his heart out.
His heart out.
Yeah,
he's going to be the final victim. They have him tied to a table and drugged up and all that, and that's the first end of the movie. He saves them. The family dies in the fire, which is the family of the doctor of West Point, by the way. And
Dr. Daniel Marquis, played by Toby Jones. You remember him from like the Mist. He's a really short guy. Yeah. Really good character actor in a ton of stuff.
He's one of those guys you look at and go, I know him, but what do I know him from? Yeah. And he's in everything. It's like, and so you end up with the first false ending. It's kind of like Return of the
I was just gonna say, don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't
where
even
you've
say it.
got 10 different endings going on, and you just
All
when
of
you
those
think you're
endings
gonna
are necessary. We are
just
not
when you
getting
think
into.
you're gonna get up and walk out of the theater and leave, there's another 15 to 20 hours to
The
go,
ending is
and
the
it's
Grey
not.
Havens, everyone. And it's not the defeat of Sauron. Anyway,
I think I watched. It might have taken me 20 days to watch that, only because I kept falling asleep. But anyhow, oh,
I
by the
fell
way,
asleep during this movie.
I
So
commented. By the way, did you see that? I commented on David Horvath's post.
I did see that.
Yeah, I did make that comment there too. So, but one of the things, Christian Bale's character is a drunk. He's throughout the entire thing, he's been they've made comments about him being a widower, and it's not unclear. It's not clear again how his wife dies. I think cancer or something.
Yeah, they don't say how she dies.
Yeah, but it's it had been a year or so since. But then his daughter, they make it clear she had run away.
Mhm.
His daughter's run away, and she's gone. And at the end of the movie, Poe comes into Christian Bale's Landor's cabin and basically confronts him and says, "It's you. It wasn't the family. It was you the whole time. You were the killer. You were doing all this. And it's because three cadets raped your daughter the night of the ball. And what do I do now? Now that I know this, what do I do? You know?" And Bale admits it. They start doing flashbacks to the daughter being attacked, and then they show Landor kill the first guy and hang him in the tree, but he gets interrupted and runs away. So you had two things going on. You had him killing the people who raped his daughter, and the ritual family cutting out hearts, taking them and using them for the thing. And Poe was really the only one who was going to be a live kill, so to speak. They
And
just kind of,
the one thing,
yeah,
his daughter committed suicide.
she did because
Yeah,
she
and
was
that's where she was.
raped
She hadn't
and
run away.
and yes, and he just said she ran away with someone else, and that was a hard. As a dad of a daughter, it's hard to watch a dad try to reach, you know,
Yeah.
sadness that, and it was that was a tough. It really was. It was tough for me. And so they show her fall off the edge, and she's like, "I'm okay now" or something, and it just destroys him and wrecks him. So he has to get vengeance. And then at the end, he's standing on the cliff where his daughter died, and he's holding a ribbon and just kind of lets it go and says something to the effect of, "Now you can rest." And it almost looks like he turns and falls, but it's not clear. He
So
might have
what do you
fallen.
think? What, okay, we're spoilers.
Always.
Do you think he fell? Do you think he killed himself at the end?
I think I could
I
see
do.
how
I
why
think he went. I think
yeah, I
yeah.
see why he would. I think he wants to be with his daughter and
Yeah.
his wife, and he's miserable
Yeah.
and all that. Now, that being said, the guy who played Poe, there was a scene where the one daughter, the girl that he loves, was playing piano, and he's sitting there and he's watching as Landor goes upstairs and finds the uniform. And when they're looking, it's a like over the shoulder of Bale. It was spooky how much that guy looked like Poe in the shadow.
So
He looked a lot like him.
that kind of goes. I think we might end up having different favorite parts about this movie. And so that actor is Harry Melling. And have you seen the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
It's on my list, but no, I know it's a Netflix thing.
So he's in that movie, and he plays an armless, legless guy. And dude, he's awesome.
He's in the Harry Potter movies too.
Is he? I haven't seen.
So
I haven't seen a single Harry Potter movie.
My wife and daughter love him, so I've seen him.
But he's awesome. He
yeah,
I think he's a fantastic, and I think that part of the movie, what I really liked about this movie is the lighting and the quietness of it. It made me long for a life by candlelight, like where everything is just subtle and the lighting was so well done.
Yeah.
And it made everything feel like just real in a way. And I'll get to my problems with it in a minute, but I'm going to talk about all the things I really liked about it. The lighting made it feel like Rembrandt paintings at time, where the light was the character, and the way they lit certain things, and this costumes I thought were beautiful. The acting I thought was really well done. I think my first thing I can say about that, maybe it felt like a movie, like a movie, like instead of like I'm watching some stupid action movie or something. Like it felt like I'm watching a real movie for once, and I really like that about it. I really like the acting. I thought was top notch. There's Christian Bale. I thought was fantastic, and the mystery didn't hook me as much as I had hoped it would. Like, and I'm gonna go full. So when I went back, so I watched the whole thing, and I went back. And I'm starting to pull pictures for this episode. And
Plus, you fell asleep.
Oh yeah, I fell asleep the first time because I started watching it after Discord on at like 1 a.m. So I probably fell asleep. So I'm like, I'll have to go back. So after I just started, like the first 2 minutes of the movie, I'm like, why the hell didn't I know it was him from the beginning? Because he's sitting at the thing washing his hands. He's in the creek washing his hands. They cut from the guy hanging from the tree to him at the creek washing his hands in the creek. And I never went, wow, why the hell is that guy in this? Like when you first watch it, that's why I would love to go back maybe and watch and see if I can pick up maybe clues they dropped along the way saying, oh yeah, it was him all along. But
right.
I didn't get sucked in by the mystery as much as I had and I think it's based on a book by, let me get this right, Louis Bayard, and that's I think the same name. I almost wish we knew from the beginning that it was him. And it was more him trying to throw them off his trail. Like, so you were in on it with him. And so you knew what he was trying to do to throw these people and frame these other people. I think that would have been more, instead of the twist at the end, where you're like, oh, it was him all along. Which I don't think it's a bad movie at all. It wasn't a story that I had like, and it's right on my alley too, like 1800s. I love cowboy movies. I love old American. Yeah. I love the accents. I love the costumes were beautiful. Everything was just movie, and it just didn't grab me like I had hoped. So that's where I'm at. So the mom of the doctor, who is that? I didn't know until the end.
Oh, Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, X-Files. Yeah. I was like, I didn't know the whole movie, didn't recognize her until I saw that, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's her.
Yeah, I knew right away. Dude, are you kidding me? I had a X-Files crush on her. That's Alien. I wanted to believe too. I wanted to believe she'd say yes to me.
But yeah, she was fantastic. Like, I think the acting, all like, and the other cool thing is like every character had like this is gonna sound stupid, had character to them. Like when you look at their face, like everybody had something. Like the two head like general sergeant guys, the main investigator, he was so stiff, but like his costume and the way his hair went, where it just he has hair just like me. Like if I grew my hair out, I would look like that dude with just a little bit of hair right there, and the way it worked. And then the head guy of West Point, he just looked like one of those stuffy bald eagle guys with this really cool nose and just real stuffy like lip. Like if you made one of those or those spitting image puppets, he looked like one of those, like kind of just a caricature of a person. And it, like, there was so much great stuff in there. The story didn't grab me like I had hoped. And it was great, but it just wasn't all there for me. I don't think it's bad in any means, but it just,
and I think that I can see where, like you were saying, it's not a CGI extravaganza. This is a movie where you have to pay attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And even I was watching it, paying attention, all that. I know I missed a lot of stuff. And like I said, there's so much in it. You really do have to watch it a couple times to see, like you said, the clues that they gave away. I never even thought about that. You're right. It's the first time he's cleaning his hands in the river.
Yeah. And I didn't, I wouldn't have realized that if I hadn't gone back and started watching it a second time. I'm like, oh, duh, I'm an idiot.
No, because I missed it too.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's, yeah, that's not saying much, is it?
Yeah, that's true.
I love, and I think you do too, to some extent, like old movies. I think I like older movies more than you do. Like one of
I
my
like
favorite.
new movies about olden times, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
But I mean, I'm saying I don't think you like character story driven movie,
Yes.
and I do too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of old Hollywood, that's what that was. Even the action films still had like North by Northwest and stuff. That stuff had character development
Yes.
in it. It wasn't just run from the airplane in the cornfield. There's a lot more to it.
And I like
And
movies with horrible, heart wrenching endings that are not happy endings. And that's
yeah,
this. Like, this
yeah,
ending sucked. Like, if
yeah,
you're like, he didn't get away with it, got caught, kills himself.
yeah.
That's the end of the movie. Like, that's horrible.
But Poe let him go.
I know.
That's the
Right. But he let him.
Yeah, because Poe, he actually wrote up a note. He knew Poe was going to find him. Gave Poe the mission, and before Poe left, and Poe's crying, he burns it
He
in
burns
front
it.
of him.
Yep. That was a great scene. Like, that, I
yeah,
think, like, they're not going to give out Oscars to this, but
he should.
they should. I think there's, especially set design, lighting, visual effects. Like, there's costumes. The costumes were great. Like, everything was just, I think, fantastic.
Well,
And Harry Melling as Poe is awesome. Like, just like.
Okay.
Okay, my question. I wonder if we're about to ask the same question. Go ahead.
No, go on. Go on.
Do you think they put makeup on him, like to make like? Was he wearing prosthetics? Because when I look at his face, it's very similar. Because you know how Edgar Allan Poe has that big kind of bulbousy head. Did they add? Because it. But when you look at him in real life, it's not that different. Like,
yeah, I don't
I
think
couldn't tell if he was wearing like a thing.
because he doesn't. He's not now. If he came out as like a exact match caricature type thing, but he wasn't that. He was like close enough that you knew who he
Right,
was.
and that's like the best.
Yeah,
That's how you do it in a movie. Instead of like, I think the most glaring example of how you do it wrong is The Watchmen. When they had the guy playing Nixon, and they had someone in like prosthetic Nixon makeup. I'll find a picture, and it takes you right out of the movie because you can tell it's not him. Instead of just getting a guy that kind of looks like Nixon.
Or another example would be what's his name in Primary Colors, Travolta, looking like they try to make him look like Clinton. That was terrible.
Yeah, you
couldn't
can't. I hate when they do that. You can't, because everyone's so used to seeing that face. You know what that person looks like.
Yeah.
And if you try and fake it, it looks terrible. And I think this movie did it right. If anything, please go back. Make sure you watch Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It is one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years.
It's a musical too.
Oh, yes. First part is.
Okay.
Oh my God, that movie is so good.
Now, here's talking about the setting and the lighting. Here's something that I noticed, and maybe you didn't. The family of the doctor, who's basically the Satanist, so to speak.
Yeah.
Did you notice, like inside, and actually, like in their house, it was always orange. They had like an orange glow and a feel. Everywhere else was white and gray.
Yeah.
And dark, muted. And I thought it was interesting that the one family that's the worst family out of all of them has the warmest household. It's like we love each other. We're together. Then, they're the worst people in the freaking movie.
And you brought up that part with the piano, and I think it was like one of my favorite parts of this. This is, I hate to get like sentimental. Like, it made me long for life being that simple, where you could look at someone play piano and fall in love with them. Like, if that's life, like just to sit in a room, there's no one alive today. There's well, there are some, but to get someone in their 20s to sit in a room and listen to a woman play piano and be entertained and have them so entertained that they fall in love with, like, that's not happening ever again in our lifetime. It's over. Like, those days are so gone of like the simplicity of life. And that's why I'm saying, like, it felt so homey with the candle lights and people just kind of like, even Christian Bale's house. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want like a house in the snow next to a creek. That's the other thing. It's beautiful. Like, just that, like, and I'll throw shots up here of just the snow and the water and the gray. That's my favorite kind of weather. It sounds, but that's, right. It's like, that's when I think of like my life, I'm not a warm weather. Like, I love the snow. I love that look to life. the stupid Chicago gray, steel
Yeah.
wet, like gray wet blanket that comes down here in a couple months.
Well, you were at my so the back of my house where my Superman collection is, which you
Mm-hmm.
saw in all of because I'm awesome and so's my collection. But that room is what I think it has 8 windows in it,
Yeah.
right? It's the whole and when it snows, that whole back area is like an open field and everything. We got a creek back there and all that. Dude, it's awesome.
And you know
So
how
yeah,
to, and people who don't live where it snows probably have never experienced this.
yeah.
It gets so quiet when it snows. And I love it. You go outside, the snow
And you can hear it.
dampens
Like,
every
yeah.
sound of the city goes away. It just like dampens it, muffles it, and it's just I I love snow. I don't know how I'm
Yeah.
gonna move somewhere
Me too.
more.
You're not. You're gonna come live with me. You're gonna bring Jamie. We're gonna live here with my wife. We're just gonna we'll shovel snow together and have a heart attack outside in the driveway.
Babe, that's that could be coming. So I do recommend the movie. I think it's worth a watch. You might like the story, you might not. I There's really good things in there to see, and
I think I liked it way more than you, but I'm gonna tell you, since you focused a lot on the setting here, one other movie that we did, you focused a lot on the setting.
I
The
can't.
World War One movie you
Oh
picked.
yeah, oh yeah. It's very similar
Yeah.
to that, like style wise.
So the question I have, which did you like more?
All Quiet on the Western Front, even worse ending, like even
Yeah.
sadder, more horrible ending. Like, and
Yeah.
but it had
That's a
that same feel to it.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
There's a forebodingness to it that
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
thinking, have you seen 1917?
oh yeah, that's
Okay, yeah.
that is I've watched that numerous times, and that's one of those. In Dunkirk, same thing. I
That
like
I haven't
those.
seen yet. I gotta watch Dunkirk. I gotta watch Dunkirk.
That's good. You'll like it. That's World War II, but it's still
Yeah,
good.
I gotta watch Dunkirk. Man.
But
All right, we ready for our grade?
I have a feeling we're on different ends here, buddy.
Not too far, probably. Go ahead.
I bet you we are.
Go ahead.
I gave it A minus.
Hey, nice. I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Oh, no,
I am
I'm
not
surprised.
I am not. I don't hate it at all. Like I just, and I'm telling you now that go back and just watch like the first 5 minutes, and I
Okay.
think going back I might change a little. And I just knowing that he's the killer makes it better.
A different
I don't
movie, yeah.
like a different. I don't know.
Here's the problem with making
The Poe Easter eggs. Do you remember any of them that you remember
Remember.
seeing? The one that I
I do.
picked up on right away, and I think it's just because of my sound system. There's constantly a raven crowing. Like there, like
yeah,
you could hear
yeah.
it, like right
Yeah.
there. And a lot of the heart
Yeah.
stuff, of course, the telltale heart. Like you have the heart stuff. That's a big.
And the which is where the pale blue eye is from as
Yeah.
well, because he sees it, yeah. But the yeah, no, I honestly, this is what I think that they could do with this, and it would change the way the movie. I think that going forward, they can make more, and they could have Poe being a detective now,
Yeah.
because whether or not people, I don't know if people know this or not, Poe is actually the creator of the detective novel. It's rare that you can look.
Wait, let me see if I can remember high school. Murders in the Rue Morgue.
No,
Wasn't that a detective like story, like trying to figure out
that's not the first one.
which was the first one? That's the only one I've read. So,
The Purloined Letter.
oh yeah, okay, I did read that.
And and it's again a guy sitting in a room telling a story,
Yeah.
and so, but I'm just saying that you can make him that detective, and then you could really like bring things in from other stuff,
Yeah.
The name Lee, and it was Annabelle Lee is one of the poems that he wrote.
Yep.
Lee, the girl that he falls in love with. So it's that stuff like that
That little thing. That yeah.
it'll come back to me
It would be
once we.
there's another movie like that. Where I'll never remember it. Time.
Well, while you're thinking, let me tell you, there is a guy who writes books for anyone out there who's a book reader, named Matthew Pearl. And this dude has created his own genre pretty much. He takes literary figures and puts them in fiction, but it's like historical fiction, but it's not, but it's really So like the first one that I read was called The Poe Shadow, and it's like trying to find out what happened to Edgar Allan Poe because he did die a sad, miserable death, literally in a gutter, and no one really knows how he died. And so it's kind of plays off of that. He also has done some about the Dante's Inferno, with Longfellow and some other things. And so if you're into literature, if you like fiction and you want to kind of suspend disbelief for 400 pages or so, Matthew Pearl's book's fantastic. You'll like them.
I know I saw a movie where it was like that, where they stuck the author into like, and I can't remember.
Well, there was Edgar Allan Poe with what's his name?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
John Cusack.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm. Yeah, something like that where they change. Yeah,
I remember the name. Yeah, it wasn't good.
No, this far better. Like this guy John Cusack looks nothing like Edgar Allan Poe. Like,
so might as well be in that movie.
I know. All right. We went a little highbrow. I like this. We did some literature talk. That's pretty cool.
Hold on.
Yep.
Before we do it, so we don't forget model kits for that.
Yeah, I have one. No, two perhaps. But you go ahead. You go first since it's yours.
The guy hanging in the tree.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Right at the beginning, he's hanging there. He's it's
very
similar to Jeff Yeager's Frankenstein on the cross with the hands. You could do something like, and honestly, just finding a way. Maybe it would be like something that would be very specific. There's the one scene where Poe and Landor are sitting on the bench, the Gothic bench in West Point, having those two characters sit there. I thought would be really cool. Mm-hmm. You could snow it up and gray it out and stuff. It'd be cool.
I really like the daughter Lee with where she had the blood down the middle of her face. Like it would be a really cool where she's got the knife up and stuff. I thought that would be cool. But just a simple Poe of this character as Poe, I think would be when he's kind of doing. I don't want to say who he reminded me of in this. A former friend, and the way his motions were, was very similar to the way that person talked, and I like. He was very
flamboyant. He was flamboyant.
Expressive with his hand, like with the way he spoke with his hands, and I really kind of like that. And I think, you could do a real cool. Johansson has that Poe kit. Well, I don't know if he has the rights to it. There's a Poe where he's sitting in a chair smoking, but I don't know if he still has the molds or not.
I've wanted one of those because that came out before I got into Garage.
Yeah, you might want to talk to Scott. But I think an updated Edgar Allan Poe, there's just that bust. I remember, like, it's kind of like a caricature where his head's really kind of bulbous that I've seen.
I think John Dennett has that, right?
Yeah, and I haven't seen a good, like, just, I don't know, like, there's room for a really good Poe, a really, like, updated one. But yeah, that's, I liked it. I'm not saying, like I said, I just wanted the story to be a little. I was expecting full on supernatural as well, which didn't happen.
They dipped their toe.
Right. I was So I don't know if that's now knowing, and I think knowing that going back, I think it might change a little bit. But I'm serious. Go watch the first 5 minutes and you go, I'm dumb. Like, what?
I don't need that.
All right, I have my movie picked for the next one, and I was thinking it. And then it suggested it to me after watching this one on Netflix. And it's the complete opposite direction from this.
Jackie Chan in?
Yeah, actually, that'd be pretty cool. 65. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay. We are doing 65 for the next episode of Model in a Movie. It 65. Is a... have you ever heard of this movie? You know what I'm talking about? I think you'll recognize it as soon as you go look it up. You'll go, oh yeah, that.
One of the things that I do is I like to go through like the what's coming out soon stuff and all that, and I remind me, so it just goes into my queue, and then I forget that it's there. You know? So it might be one of those. All
right, 65. Special effects spectacular. It's what this is going to be, I think. So, and dinosaurs. So, the opposite of this.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give that a try. We'll see. I don't have good feelings for it, but I've been wanting to watch it. So
This does force us to watch movies.
it does force us to watch movies I've been on our list. But
So
everybody, please watch the Gamera series. We're all going to kind of watch that and talk about it next time. Everybody watch Gamera as well. And anything else you want to add, Brian?
Yeah, support your local theater. Go see Slaughterhouse.
Well, Slaughterhouse is out. That's right. Slaughterhouse.
Is it out? It's coming. It's coming close.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and guys, the boxes are coming, and I do want to thank everybody who sent me well wishes with the surgery. I really do appreciate. I did read them all, and I tried to like it and comment and thank them for reaching out. I do appreciate that. So thank you very much, guys.
Awesome. I'm glad you're doing well too. I'm glad you're back from the
COVID.
Yeah. So all right, we'll see you next time.
Later,
bye everybody. Pressing record.
Yeah, hit record, you bum.
Wow. Okay.
Welcome to
Wow, this is how I'm treated now. Okay.